We had said already several times, conceive heaven not so much as a place, but as a community of spiritually related beings. It may help us to understand the devachanic condition somewhat, to consider the degree of happiness a number of people in perfect sympathy and affinity may experience when, actuated by a single high motive, they meet to lose themselves in considering the beauty, strength, and joy of the ideal, which has been the motive power of their gathering. So you are entering not only a building, but above all a community. You attach yourself to your true family by connecting with them in the morning and evening meditation, and by contacting them again and again in the course of the day. What is so beautiful about heaven anyway? Not so much the majestic world of the mountains, the building of a castle or ashram, but most of all, one thing. The communion with your soulmates. Heaven is such a pleasant place because lower consciousnesses, who make life on earth a hell for you, have no access up there. You are alone with your own kind, with high beings, with great spirits. Man is a community animal. He cannot live alone. Without a community, there is no happiness and no progress for you. Does it necessarily have to be a physical community? No. You can be a Pythagorean, Platonist or Stoic, a samurai, Shaolin or Agni Yogi under all circumstances, in any place, in any world and at any time. The code of honor that applies to all members the common customs, and submission to one and the same leadership unite much more strongly than living together physically. You actually belong, whether you are aware of it or not, to a supratemporal community which is in existence already for thousands of years. One can observe that there are appearing whole groups of people connected with each other from former times. There you lived before you were born. There you will go back after death. With your incarnation on the material plane, you do not cease to be a member of this community. It is just that your mission demands a short physical, not spiritual, absence. Soon you will return to your family. No individual can be drawn into the temple or any other organic body who does not belong to that body by karmic right and long association in past lives. The bonds that formerly united you, the fires that welded you into that one body, were made and built many thousand years agone. The currents of thought that are constantly flowing between you, cementing and intensifying the strength of your unity, are indissolubly binding you to each other, to the lodge, to myself. This is how Mahatma Hilarion speaks to his disciples in our days. You have been told the time when, with me, you were associated in the order of the sons of the dragon, children of the glory of ancient Egypt. You have been in the past, and maybe in the future, united members of a group, united members of one family, with power sufficient to wield a world. I have told you in the past of your relationship to me. How wonderful is it to be safe and sound in such an eternal community, in all worlds, on all levels of existence. You can draw much strength from this awareness when you are walking the earthly path in loneliness. Your true relatives are not your blood relatives, but your soulmates. It is necessary to feel how there are gathered around the fiery heart those who have been drawn to it by the striving toward fiery service. The attraction of the magnet of the heart acts as a law. It must also be remembered that each life of the heart attracts those who reveal kinship of spirit. The way of life in accordance with a common rule separates you from other people and unites you with your supratemporal family, as Jesus said. Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother, and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. Try to reawaken the memory of this community, at least of its nature, its essence, its spirit. Make yourself as clear as possible where you belong, just as your teacher, your true spiritual father. You can also rediscover in time your brothers and sisters to which you are spiritually related. If the subtle world influences are so frequent, deep and lengthy, relations should be established between co-workers of the two worlds. And so it is. In this case, the relationships are not so much a matter of blood kinship as of spiritual kinship. Often such co-workers meet also on the earthly plane, though they may be separated by differences of nationality and circumstance, yet an inner feeling will draw them together. Between them a confidence will be established very easily. These soulmates of yours are living either incarnated somewhere on earth or non-incarnated in the subtle world. In both cases, you are dependent on establishing and maintaining a spiritual connection with them. In spirit, you can always be connected with the other members of your family, no matter on which plane of existence they are at the moment, and how far away they may be from you physically. Some bemoan the need to leave the vicinity of our towers. They forget that spiritual contact is indestructible and that distance has no meaning. You know that your eternal brothers and sisters exist, that you belong to them, and that you will return to them after death. You just do not see them while you are incarnated on earth. Whether you ever reach the material center of the temple work and become associated with your comrades there or not, whether you are so isolated as never to meet another temple member in your present incarnation, the fact remains that you are one of the constituent parts of a single group soul, else you never would have been impelled to unite yourself with the temple body, for you are under the guidance of that soul. In spirit, you can overcome all material limitations. Community of spirit is the highest transfiguration of life. Many of the ignorant do not wish to understand that community of spirit does not depend upon external form. It is created there where the concept of the broadening of consciousness is alive. Community of spirit is possible where there exists a living magnet. Then it is possible across all earthly boundaries to attach oneself to every cooperative or community. When a community lives in the sole service of truth, there exist no obstacles. The experiment of bringing together hearts over long distances is waiting for workers to carry it out.